Hello. I'm Will Forge, and today we will forge. Let me switch this to live chat. And come over. Oh, wrong internet window. Here we go. That one did not have. That one just was my waterworks stuff. I can't see chat from there. That's useless to me. Okay. Alright. So, I was just asked in my Discord. I know. The map is boring right now. Let's just look down at what's happening in the map. For now. And then, oop, nope, don't make it hard to see. I'm gonna check really quick. I was just asking my Discord about how I have a 3D model of a, Halo archive drive. There it is, of a Halo map. Get link, copy link, and here is a Halo 3D model archive where someone has already done the work to extract a ton of 3D models from the games. If the level they wanted to remake was the Ark, if the Ark is in there, you can get it very easily through this Google Drive. There we go. Now, I can go back to chat. Pog, I didn't join mid-conversation. Yeah. That's because it took me a second to actually get ready this morning. So I've done a bunch of stuff over here. Some of it is good transition, some of it is weak. Over here, for example, I haven't actually done where this transitions, but I got over here that's pretty good. I need to finish on this side. Oh, look at that, I have points. I guess I won. I put a little bit of interesting terrain here in the middle so that you've got something you can use as a hill. It's also something where I could spawn things. Let's see. By the way, are you able to remove your ask about scripting text, please? Thanks. Oh! Do I still have that on there? Yeah. Ask about scripting. Yeah, I can delete that. Sure you want to remove message of the day? Oh, I named that message of the day apparently. I'm just gonna turn it off in case I want to use it again in the future. My wife just brought me waffles. There we go. Message of the day. Which Wicker Man? Didn't they remake it? Or am I thinking of a different movie that was adjacent to the Wicker Man? Because I also watched the original, or not the original, I don't know how old they are. But I watched one a long time ago and I was also felt the exact same way. I was like, yeah, it's okay. The 1973 one, yeah. If that's the original, then that's, I think, the one I watched. Because it was an old one. I was like, nah, okay. It's a cool little thing. So I've got this melting ice situation going on here, where the ice is sort of melting underneath and pouring out, and or rather the Forerunner structure providing the water for this is kind of coming out. And this was inspired, of course, whenever I saw your rivers and stuff like that, so to try and make it like that. And what I had in mind to do, well, I've got over here, which is kind of cool, where like the ice is melting there, make it a little puddle, and up here, where again, ice is melting. I even have the water droplets animating there, and falling down in here. These are really shallow, so I use glass, so technically you can't walk through this water. But this one I wanted to make it like you could actually stand in the water and crouch down. And I kind of want to be able to go up underneath there just a little bit, so you can like hide underneath there from enemies. But yeah, let's see. Not the 2006 one. Yeah. So what's the lore behind the map? Wow, it looks really good. Thanks. Just it's inspired that this river, the way I built it is like I saw what Aaron did and went, okay, so that's how you do it. So give some kudos to Aaron there. I might have built this, but it was very heavily from Aaron. Okay, so the lore here is these bases here are drop new fobs because the banished defeated the fobs that were deployed from the Infinity around the all over the what is this doing here? I don't remember putting those there, but I must have all around the the Zeta Halo, and they defeated them so handedly. They were like, yeah, we need better fobs. So this is experimenting with new fobs, and what they did was they went. It's like the UNSC was like, okay, the Spirit of Fire does it went up against the Banished and won, and survived with outdated tech. The Infinity, with all the tech of the Forerunner added in, failed miserably. We need to learn from the successes of the past and redesign how our fobs work. So this is a fob that drops in and has manufacturing systems that go underground, right? Once it lands, makes a crater, and then accesses the creates underground manufacturing plants that start building buildings underground, like the ones from like the colony ship of the Spirit of Fire does, whenever with its militarized colony ship equipment. This is going to be redone because it's, as you can see, I raised the height here, so I need to raise the height on this. But anyway, this building is going to be underground. That building is going to be underground. This one unfortunately cannot be. This one's going to be underground. And you're going. The idea is that the UNSC is field testing these brand new fobs and systems to try and combat to try and immediately deploy bases to places like Halo rings where they know and what do you call them? The Ark, stuff like that. This multiple biomes thing. It reminds me of this one Black Ops 3 map. Ooh, that's probably a good thing. If it reminds you of another map, that means it's a good idea. Because it must have been a memorable map that's in Black Ops 3. So basically the idea is this is a Forerunner power generator of some kind. And what it does is, look up Gauntlet Black Ops 3. I will do that. I'll finish describing this and then I'll look that up. So this like fusion coil is going to shoot up these tubes, go through and look like they're teleporting through this slip space portal. But anyway, we're being teleported through. But the point is that this thing it generates fusion coils and it controls these power towers. These power towers generate the power that goes into the fusion coils. And what they did was UNSC was like, yeah, okay, these things or something similar exist on a lot of Forerunner worlds. These are where all those fusion coils and all of the Forerunner planets and areas, get built to begin with, and they get transported around the ring by a teleporter, or by sentinels. These are receivers for those fusion coils, with the thought that, sentinels are probably ones delivering to local areas around here after they've been teleported to these receivers. There's also going to be a receiver outside the map just for looks, but anyway. So these, why is that color different? Okay, it only happened at this one. That's really weird. Anyway, so basically, this is, the power, these towers generate a lot of power. And what the UNSC did was they're like, yeah, we're going to deploy these because they're very power heavy. We're going to deploy these to the battlefield. They're going to tap into power towers and gather fusion coils to use to power the rapid manufacturing technology that they're now deploying. Maybe there's some, tasty, armor altering nanomachines down there building these things. Something that would require a huge amount of power that only Forerunner would be able to, supply for because they've got that kind of tech. But somehow Cortana was able to do it in a cryo tube. Anyway, so the idea is that they've been using this area to field test these for a while, and it's slowly been Well, the area was already desert because of the it's Zeta Halo, and there was the gigantic explosion over there, and it caused the biome over here to be completely wiped out. So the Forerunner systems are trying to rebuild the biome, and this one's trying to create, it's trying to cool off the area and provide water and nutrients to the plants. This one over here, haven't quite decided. I think it's going to be. It's going to look similar as far as the Forerunner structure is concerned, but it's going to be very different otherwise. And I'm thinking about what's going to be happening is over here is that this one is possibly going to be able to be like arcing toward here and arcing into the ground and glassing the sand around it and creating like lava pools and stuff like that. Like, this area is malfunctioning, and the reason that all of this is malfunctioning is not just because of that, it's also because the UNSC is field testing in this area so often that it's starting to damage the Forerunner structures with their combat. And so not only are they malfunctioning from that, but they're also being used so heavily by the UNSC that, yeah, by the Spartans training here, that they're malfunctioning pretty heavily. By the way, underneath this waterfall is going to be... What is this? Wow, the door frame got all messed up. Anyway, it's going to be a door. The frame clearly got borked. I'll probably just delete it and grab another one from up there and copy it down there. Discord. Oh, cool, you sent me a... Is that going to be the map? So there's going to be an area you can get underneath here. There's going to be a locked door and then a weapon spawn or maybe an equipment spawn or something like that down there. But yeah, ooh, this texture's not loading right now for some reason. What is up with Infinite right now? It's not loading textures. It clearly messed up some of my object location. Hopefully it's okay to forge on this right now. But yeah. Let's see, the new Big Team Battle Map Oasis, the big Forerunner structure, is a terraformer, which is turning the desert into a forest. That's why there's a bunch of overgrowth around the Forerunner stuff. Exactly. I don't think that one's on the Zeta Halo, but it would have been a great idea to have used the Zeta Halo like I did as an excuse to say this isn't supposed to be Forerunner desert. The Forerunner are not, the ring is not happy about this because the damage over there caused a ripple effect, or maybe even shards of that part landed over here and damaged it, and had to be removed by Sentinels before now they can finally start, terraforming it. But yeah, basically, same thing, same idea. I started this before Oasis did it. In fact, I built this when we had the glimpses of Oasis, but I built this off the power towers that are in Halo Wars. Let's see, Halo Wars Energy Tower. They literally are supply. They literally supply energy, supplies to you whenever you're. Let's see if I can get any screenshot of one. I don't know if you've played Halo Wars, but if you have, then I don't really need to even show it. But I need to look at that thing that Aaron sent, though. So if I can't find one really fast, I'm just not going to worry about it too much. But you can look them up. If you play Halo Wars, they're capture points. These are going to be King of the Hill zones, so they're going to be capture points as well. But essentially, they are. Yeah, I don't see them right away. Not even a single shot of one. You'd think they would be. Oh, Halo Wars. I'll put Forerunner and see if that helps. But no, they just have the ones that shoot the beams into space. Anyway, okay. Okay, let me check over here. Why is it telling me things about Discord? Here we go. Main chat. No, Aaron sent me something. Gauntlet. Okay, so can I watch this on stream, do you think? Probably not a big deal. Is that an Assassin's Creed outfit in there? In that, like, container? The resolution hadn't loaded yet. Okay, that's really cool. Let me pause it here first. Yeah, I see what you mean. They simulated a bunch of different battlefields to try and train their troops in different things. Yeah, very similar. In fact, that is a good point. It might be that the UNSC are intentionally causing these to malfunction in their attempt to do stuff. But I'm thinking like explosions went off around this one and caused it to malfunction and start arcing plasma into the terrain around it, and that's what's creating like the lava and like superheating the ground into lava and glassing the area. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to make some really cool glass shard looking things, because it's gonna be, with just the cubes of glass, it's gonna be very difficult to make it look cool. But I'll be able to figure it out. It's just gonna be about, you know, how to clip it into itself and like layer it over a bunch of glass on top of each other to look like you know, what do you call it? Like layered earth, you know? But yeah. Show the main chat in your Discord whenever you can. There's also this one Creation Club ad on the Skyrim add-on for Skyrim called 4 Seasons. Oh, cool. Yeah, no, I really like the idea of taking like all the biomes in Halo games and like condensing them into an area for a single map. It just seems like a cool idea to me. It's multiple biomes inside of a Dwemer ruin. Let me check out. Aaron wanted to show off his maps. Mortality has resumed. This is his. He's altering Paimon's map to be a little bit different. He's mostly adding plant life, like it's basically like the map is coming alive, and he's adding these other like floating islands around it, like there's some kind of weird spatial anomaly occurring, warping and connecting to other things. But anyway, yeah, and it's looking very cool actually. I just wanted to say that weird mushroom looks really interesting. The way that's it almost looks like flood. But yeah. Do you mean? Oh, I wait, what? I said Aaron. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, Chairman Ninja, who is Shitography Studio in chat right now. Sorry about that, Mr. Studio. I said the wrong name. It's multiple biomes instead of inside of a Dwemer ruin. Oh, okay, that's really cool. So basically very similar. High tech is altering the terrain and maintaining these environments. So I used my extensive refrigerator knowledge from being an appliance repairman to make this look like technology is altering the terrain. But yeah, today I wanted to fix this. And what I'm thinking is, I didn't especially like that it's just like plop. It's just like a little circle. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this area and stretch it out and make it look like kind of like, oh, well, you know what that kind of looks like? Okay, so from above, but no one's going to notice this, it's going to kind of look like a shape. I don't know. Anyway, it's like that flood-looking mushroom, too. I found it earlier today, Lamau. Oh, nice. Oh, I like that one. Oh, cool. Is that a prefab that someone made? That's pretty cool. So anyway, I think I'm going to... It kind of will give it like a Assault on the Control Room kind of shape with the, you know, the large, like, ramp. But instead of a ramp, I'm going to be doing, you know, waterfall, what is it called? Gondor. The White City. If I have this all moved out, then I can move the tree out a little bit. And the idea was just that this mound is too close, and I can't get rid of it and keep this detailed terrain and make that detailed terrain so smoothly transition into this terrain, which smoothly transitions into that terrain. Without these two pieces here, it's very difficult to transition into those. And those two pieces need this to be this scale and this location to do that. And I really liked how it... I mean, whenever the texture loads in, it looks really good. But I really liked how it creates this sort of precipice with the water and like all this kind of stuff going on. Because what it does is it makes it to where if you get up here, this area is, you can just go to it for the fusion coil, but you could come up here if like you were coming this way. Let's say that team is taking this area or trying to hold it, right? They're here defending. And you come up here with a warthog. And you don't have a gunner. So, or they take out your gunner. You immediately swerve and come over here. This hill is not where it's going to be, but you immediately swerve and head up this hill, trying to keep as far back on the hill as you can so they can't really hit you. And then you get up here and you park, right? You get out and then you can either park your warthog up here. You can come up this ramp and turn and like, you know, park your gun turret here and just start taking them out. Or you have all of this area to engage those people from. You could either come after the fusion coil and try and make a break for it, but you're not going to make it because there's so many people down there. So you can come over here and start to engage them from above, and it gives you a height advantage. And I think that that's pretty cool that this serves two purposes. This area can be your fusion coil spawn, which is important for the thing. Ooh, Discord. There's more stuff, which is important for the objective. Which you gather these, by the way. You're going to gather the fusion coils and take these King of the Hill zones in the first phase of the map. Then it's going to switch to full-blown Slayer, where none of these are going to matter anymore. Your bases are going to build based on how many points you got, the energy level, and then you're going to and it's going to switch to Slayer, and essentially, and we're going to use scripting to do that. And once it switches to Slayer, we're going to be able to you're going to have to just go all out on the enemy team with whatever you've got. And these buildings are going to come with vehicles and stuff like that. So, like, this is a tank spawn pad that will be inactive until this rises out of the ground. Then it will activate that. So, yeah. Okay, now, I like that flood-looking mushroom, too. It's not a prefab. It can be found in biomes, then flora, and the mushrooms. It's called phalalis mushrooms. Aaron, you down to voice chat? Okay, so I did just realize that I think you meant the mushroom itself, and then you built the rest of it up. I meant like the whole thing, the way you assembled it with the tentacles or whatever and stuff. Looks very cool. But yeah, let's see what this is real quick. Oh, the Elder Scrolls one. Yes, yes, yes. I was hoping you'd send this eventually. I was going to ask you after stream, but yeah, this is going to be cool. So it's inside a Dwemer ruin, which is really cool. I always love the Dwemer. They've always been. Walgreens is calling me? What the hell? I don't... Why is Walgreens calling me? Okay. So, yeah. And this is like a steamy, like, plant-based area or something? Like they created... Like the steam is like watering things or something? Or, let's see. Spring's Symphony. Winter's Chimes. Summer's Chords. That's really cool. Autumn's Bells. That's really cool. Treasures of Vardkin. Nice. Mechanical Horse. Group Effort. Is this DLC or mods? Like, this is insane. Like, this looks like... I don't remember this. Okay, so this is a DLC. Okay. Let's see. Summer one is lava. Okay. Can't be arsed. Came with the tentacles. Summer one is lava. Wait, it comes with the tentacles? Okay, I definitely didn't see a mushroom with tentacles in there. This is Creation Club, so an official mod. Gotcha. Oh, okay. I didn't know that they made official... Oh, this is... Yeah, they did start doing that, didn't they? I forgot all about that. Understandable. No arse is allowed. Yeah, so, yeah. This is really cool. Yeah. Honestly, if someone just rebuilt this in Halo, that would be amazing map too. So if anybody wants to get on that, then go ahead. Dwemer Ruins in Halo would be amazing because you could make the Dwemer Ruins be Forerunner. What if you made a map? What if someone made a map where you did what do you call it? Back here, Metroid Prime down here. You did some Chozo Ruins, Dwemer Ruins, and Forerunner Ruins, and you had it to where you got those three somehow blended together, like maybe a spatial dimension teleporter, and then like in the middle you reference the Marathon, where in Marathon Infinity they the Mjolnir cyborg went through multiple dimensions. It was dimension hopping, and you just like imply that like these are all the same species across these different games. You could also have were they called precursors? I think they were called precursors in what do you call it? The precursors in Jack and Daxter, or whatever they were called, and have an area that's like what do you call it? Mass Effect as well. In fact, that would be a cool one to have like sections of the map not appear some of the time. Like if you had teleporters that led to them, and you just like went off of the yeah, I'm just gonna delete this because I already have the door lined up there, and I can just grab it and just be like, yeah, there, now I've got a new door, and copy it, and it'll have the frame and everything, and it won't be all messed up. Oh, my HUD is gone. That can be useful, like knowing what your snap angle is, for example. It's a very useful tool. But yeah, so like I think that'd be a really kick-ass map. I think people would like that. Anyway, I'm going to grab a bunch of stuff. So that and that are kind of tied to the way this opening looks. I might have to pull the whole thing out. Yeah, I'm thinking so. Basically, this whole area looks really pretty, but I need to restructure it because the way that it looks is, I mean, because of the effects of how it works. I actually might leave that there. Yeah, I might leave that hex there, and that hex there, and then and move this wall piece out, and see how I can tie them into those hexes, because I like that idea. I'm also kind of not entirely sold on the idea of the river coming straight out, because if I'm going to elongate it, I could theoretically have it kind of bend a little bit. It's hard to do bending water though with having to rely on, oh, I do not want to move this because it's tied into the way that works. I need to put a new one in whenever I move this out. That can come with it. Maybe I should move this hex. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let's see. Stack more energy shields. It's not visible enough. I could do that, yeah. I only have one, so I could definitely do two. I wanted to be super pure looking water though, because it's coming straight off of the ice, so I didn't go with a weird color or anything. I just went straight with white colors. But if I do stack them, that would be better. You're right, it'd be more visible, especially in the waterfall. Well, actually, with this water splashing combined with that thing, it looks pretty good. It doesn't look like it's 3D though. What I could do is also, like with the waterfall, I could make two thin, longer, like thinner, long ones, and sort of set them up like a triangle. And theoretically do that. The only downside to that is where they meet at the top will make a big old hole, so I'll have to make sure that the splashes hide that, because I had to line this up, as you can see, so that it looks like it's the same thing. It's a very sharp edge, but then the splashes kind of hide that it's so sharp, and whenever you're standing like here, you don't notice it. You know what I mean? If you were to fly up in a wasp and look at it from this angle, you can tell that it's a sharp edge, but that doesn't really matter, because you're going to be viewing it as a Spartan pretty much from the sides, or from the bottom, every time, which is going to be a little harder to tell. I also, of course, had not closed up this hole on the side, but yeah, not yet anyway. Let's see, it's not visible. I would say use Covenant Energy Medium, but those have sounds, and your screen goes black when near it. Ah, I didn't know that was a thing. That was what was turning it black whenever I was climbing on your waterfalls. Yeah, that was the screen going black was a little weird with your waterfall, so I definitely, since yours was like a stylized scene, it makes sense. Since mine's a playable area, maybe I shouldn't do that. That's one thing I hope they do with the effects, is that they make it to where you can just toggle them off. Like for real. If you could just toggle them off, that'd be amazing. Okay, so if I bring it out and make it a little bit more, let's see, I was planning to bring the snow out too, so maybe I do need to grab this. Like I was talking about, like leaving this here, but actually I guess this is the melted edge, so I kind of have to move that with it. So I kind of have to grab all these too, don't I? Yeah, I gotta grab all this and bring all this out. Basically I have to wreck it now that I've made it so that it comes out and looks good where I want it to actually be. Grab that dirt. It kind of reminds me of Skyrim graphics, the way I've got this water set up and these little mushrooms. Not gonna lie, now that you've brought up Skyrim, I'm seeing it now. Actually, I don't need to move this one, do I? Yeah, no, I don't need to move this one. I'm gonna deselect these. Okay, you're saying something. I need to read that. Give me 2 seconds to deselect. Yeah, I don't need to move that at all, because that's not part of what's going to be coming out over here. That part probably doesn't need to move either. I can probably just add snow to the top of that. But yeah, okay. Let's see. Actually, that sand to snow transition looks decent from far away. Yeah, I like it a lot. I'm glad you pointed that out. Like you pointed out that piece and how it has that color shift from top. It's like a solid color up there, solid color there, solid color there. So you can just set your textures, and then it's got a very slight fade in the middle, and it works great. Like, that doesn't, like, you can't even tell that that's what those are. You know what I mean? Like, that just looks like where there's dirty snow there. So that was a great find. And let's see. Yeah. Oh, I've got your tree here, by the way. Obviously, that's your acacia tree. So this is like, this whole area is like half your ideas that I built, and then it's like half your ideas that I built and your straight up prefabs, and then half what I did. So like, it's kind of funny. This is almost an Aaron waterfall, you know, or like a 50-50 Aaron waterfall right here, to be in truth, in all honesty. I think I do need to grab that because I kind of like how that looks on the waterfall. I like it how it's like natural on one side, Forerunner on the other. But this one's going to stay there because I like where it's located, so I'm probably going to move it out and then like find a way to put another one in between them, because they're actually touching on the corner here. So that I could actually, I'll just put another one. And what I'll do is I'll put another one that's touching on its wall, on its solid edge here. Whereas they're right there, they're touching on their corner, like they're transition between two sections. Anyway, I need to drag this out. So instead of dragging this out, I need to drag it out. So dragging out the process, I need to drag the, you know, the actual waterfall out so we can get to it. Get on with it. This is the only piece in the entire Forge palette that blends somewhat decently. Yeah, and then you've got to find out how to blend it into your other areas. Like, this blends in pretty nicely right there. So I take it back about not liking that piece. I was talking about how it stretches, and yes, they do need to fix that slight stretching on the texture. You know, maybe eventually they can get to that. But right now it's pretty good. Like, I've got it to where this area is like sharp, like the sand sort of has blown over onto it to sort of, you know, cover the dirty snow. But these areas look like it's blending. And I had to shift the color of that sand over here. As you can see, that's a little bit darker orange. That's because this sand is darker orange, and then the inheritance over here is lighter. So then I had to pick a lighter one, and I could not perfectly color match it. So it's as close as it's going to get, and it looks pretty decent anyway, because it is kind of muddy sand, because it's mixing in with the thing. So it ends up looking okay. And I sort of positioned this so that the rocks are lined up along the edge, so it kind of looks like a good transition point for how the texture transitions, instead of just being like sand. Like right here, if you get it really close, it looks bad, but if you're farther away, it's fine, because this area comes in and it has like the rock touching between the two as like a couple, like a coupling, you know, connecting the two pieces together to make it look a little better. Okay, so we've got the waterfall out a little farther. Let's see how that works with this. Is it far enough out for this dirt to not be in the way? Maybe not. I think it still needs to come a little farther. So that shows exactly how far I need to come with it. I would say that is probably enough, because a door can definitely fit on that wall now. I'm probably going to have to shift the wall back farther, actually, to make it fit properly. But that's looking pretty good. I don't want to prefab this so that I can reselect it all later, because if I try to move it like that, it could mess up all my effects. But I could just unprefab. Yeah, I'll prefab it. I'll prefab it, and then I'll remove the prefab later if I go to move it again. That way I can reselect everything really easy. And hopefully I didn't miss anything. I did. I missed a waterfall. And a rock. And that light might be important too. But, yeah. Well, I'll fix all that soon. I'm going to grab this and duplicate it this way. Oh, I thought it would duplicate it to where it was lining up, but there we go. And then do it again and line it up again and see how that looks. That is squeezing tighter and tighter because of the angle. So I think what I need to do is do it more like this. And that means I can actually grab this one and raise it up a bit and sort of poke it up out of the snow a little more to make it a little higher than these. But I kind of like how it's like wrapping around. That's kind of cool looking. And then I need this. Oh, that's part of the prefab, right? Okay, and then I'm going to have to move these two back into position with that waterfall. That was, by the way, I'm in the tree. Get out of the tree. There is a point in this, right around here, I think, where the ground comes back up and goes down. It's not super pronounced once I put this rubble here, but it is there. And that was sort of like rapid, sort of from that is what the point of that other splash was. I might have to put some inside there as well to splash over these rocks. But anyway, and the good thing is that I had all that extra water that I can actually just use this with my snow. Oh, I might need to lower it a bit because the angle is so extreme. And I need it to go inside the tube, you know. Finish your layout first before doing full FX stuff. Yeah, I should do that next time for sure. I already have it. So I think what I'm gonna do is I was kind of arting it so I could give myself inspiration, because water doesn't really exist and I'm having to make it with the energy shields and stuff. I needed to find out how I could actually angle the river and make it look good. So I had to art the river to find out what the pieces were actually capable of, just because I don't have the experience where I think you've built like 3 rivers by now, probably. I'm pretty sure, right? You definitely built the one really detailed river, but I'm pretty sure you did rivers in the other one, in your canvas. It wasn't like super waterfall-y and stuff like that like your other one, but it was still a river flowing through. And so without that experience, I had to get that experience real quick, so I had to kind of build it as I went and sort of figure out how I was gonna, make it fit, make it work. But yeah, I think that what I'm gonna do is line this up like this, and I'll rearrange that wall to actually fit more properly later, but it will give me an idea, because that was where it was, right? It was on the corner of the other piece of that one. So now this mud and this river are all associated with this hex exactly as they were with that hex before. So that should give me good angles on that. And then down here, I'm gonna cover up this sand, make it look like water, like wet rock. This is nice and dry looking rock, but I really like this. This rock here is nice and wet looking. It's the oh, it's in the prefab, so it doesn't tell you the name. But yeah, it's a really good like wet. It's called, I think it's Wetlands Rock, actually, now I think about it. But you're right, I should be doing it that way, but unfortunately, because I'm set up the way that I am, because I'm not as, like I said, experienced with it as you are with that, I had to get that experience really quick. I had to like sort of what do you call it? Crash course it, you know what I mean? And master it before I could actually know where it's going to be. So this used to be underground, so that's really promising how, where it is. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? Put that back in the prefab. I was going to do that. I was going to start moving it around, but I think I'm going to put this down here to measure it and figure out how tall this area is under here. Yeah, I could go as high as that if I need to. And the one thing that's kind of annoying is that the water is it glows. These shields do, and because they glow, these energy shields glow, you have to pick a color for that second. One of the colors is the one that determines the color of the glow, and I was hoping to use it to make like a really cool effect, but instead I had to with its color. But unfortunately, because it ends up glowing. Gosh, they really clip right through that inside that door there. Because it ends up glowing, I had to do. Well, I'm sure Aaron already had to learn all this, but I had to figure out that you had to set the color to something that was a little more subtle, like a gray, and then it kind of almost became invisible, the second color, because if you switch it to gray, it's kind of hard to see. Let's see. Anyway, so that would be the highest point I can put this door frame. It doesn't line up with the texture, so I probably actually I could go higher technically to line up the textures. There we go. Actually, that's pretty much perfect. So if I go up there and line up the textures like that, then that's where I need my ground, and that actually is perfect for hiding the dirt. So I think that this is the height that I want it to be. I think this is how far out it needs to be. Also, where's your music at? You're right! I can't believe it. That's so lame. We're not going to start with the Halo Legends soundtrack one. Let's go to, let's randomize and go to the next, whatever the next random one is. Let's go, yeah, that Dread Intrusion from Halo 3. That sounds like a good one. Okay, I can't believe I forgot the music today. Alright. This music does not fit the serenity of this river. So yeah, there's going to be sort of like this will be like a little area where you can like overlook. In fact, I could, now that it's so far out, it's become a good place to put a weapon. Like you can't just like grab the weapon because it's right next to the fusion coil. You got to come all the way out here and grab it, and it kind of puts you out here sort of like exposed and also able to use that weapon. So like whatever the weapon is, it could be something that would be beneficial to use it here, but also this is kind of exposed, so maybe after you get it you want to move back. But like right away, you know, you'll have it. I also kind of like how this is no longer like right across from the other one. Now the other one's going to be over here. So that's going to be cool. So the snow is going to come out that way, and then I can have the river coming out there, sort of, you know, like it's doing from here. And then, yeah, that looks like it'll be a good little setup. That means this piece is actually going to be able to serve a better purpose, because right now it was hiding. As you can see, there's nothing underneath it to warrant its existence, except that it was hiding the that mud that was kind of poking up over here. This, or not mud, but this rock, so that it could actually snow transition, you know, because that rock was kind of poking up too far, the way I had it. And now I could theoretically sort of, ooh, I'm on a snap rotation. That's not what you want for nature stuff. I can sort of re-angle it, or even replace it with a different shape, because, yeah, I'm gonna, oh, that's right, for some reason I'm doing scale isn't working right now. I'm not sure if that's a known bug or not. I think it is. But, so what I might do is put this here, and then use something to sort of connect that into something else. Put another one there or something like that. But we're gonna try different what are they called? Glacier rocks. We need more of these. That one would not be terrible due to its shape and the way it's built. It'll actually have that underground area just right, sort of thing, to let's see. That tree needs to move. I need to get that tree out of the way. Let's do that. We all distracted with Forge somehow. Also, where's your music? Yeah, we were all distracted, exactly. Completely forgot about all that. About the music. That's actually a really cool place for it, actually. Because it's sturdy, it's stable location, you know? Yeah, I like that. And it'll be close enough to this water source. Let's turn it around. Nope. Maybe this piece is not good. So far, I keep trying that arch, and every single time I try to use that arch, I'm like, nah, this is a good one. It goes conical. I can scale it in the direction of the cone. The cone can be used to, it's kind of conical, so I can widen it and make it look like it's coming in from back there really well. And it'll look like, the streaks look like it's melted and flowed downhill before, and sort of cause it to sort of come apart. Maybe it's too straight on the edges though, because the way that looks with the water is not so hot. Well, it's ice, so maybe it shouldn't be hot. But anyway, I think I need to rotate the river now, because the way it's flowing doesn't line up the hole anymore. And the way that it's, and because I'll have to, I don't know if I have to rotate the entire river, like I don't know if I have to take this out of prefab and then rotate it, but this definitely needs to be rotated. Yeah, maybe I might need to take this out of prefab and rotate the whole thing, and just leave the that piece behind, because that piece doesn't need to be rotated. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. If I have to do it, gotta do it. If it has to be done, then it has to be done. I might change this piece, because the way it's poking up like there, I was able to solve before, but it looks like it's becoming harder to solve because it's a different shape now. What just happened? Ungroup. Okay. So I need to deselect that because I don't want to move it. But if I rotate the whole river just a bit and move it a little bit out like this, it actually makes this really close. I could move it out until the river is touching there, and then that fixes my my hole problem without having to do any extra work. And then the river itself needs to be tilted or brought down lower. Maybe I do need to lower the roof down here, because now that I think about it, if I lower the actual river itself, then I have to lower it below the rocks and stuff. If I, but if I do that, then a whole bunch of stuff happens. So we gotta, let's see, show your Discord. Oh, okay. I will do that in just a moment. Let's see. want that water to flow out from underneath there. Oh, actually, those old rocks that I forgot to move are perfectly positioned to tell me where the water used to be. And that light as well. The water, the light was slightly submerged, like around there. So that tells me exactly how low I need to go for it to work. This also means that now that I know this height, I can lower this down so it's about river height. And that tells me how high that needs to, that can stay. Like this, actually, I could put it right on. I can put that. Yeah, I think I'm gonna need to do it by hand with mouse and keyboard. Basically, that line could either be lined up, yeah, definitely at the top of it. I could do that, for example, and that would give me a nice transition between those two textures, and it creates this cool step-down effect of that. So once you get your weapon, you do have to do some jumping to get back up into cover. So that could be that could even be almost a power weapon spot at this point. And it's it'll be a cool beauty corner, so it'll be a good spot to do that with. And this needs to be adjusted somehow. I think I forgot to re-prefab all my stuff, so it's kind of annoying, but this should be here, and I need something to be there. So I need some more muddy rock, you know what I mean? This would be another good one because I could put it to where that part is under the water just a bit, and then this part is above the water, which will feel pretty natural and you know, interesting. Oof, maybe it's a little too much that angle, and I need to scale it. Let's see, I need to scale it one direction, not the other, is the problem, I think. No, that doesn't quite look right. Okay, never mind. I'm gonna do it this way instead. And the reason is because now I can put, oop, I went two directions. Okay, and you can't undo scale right now. It's like really messy. There's some kind of weird bug going on. It might just be me, by the way. I have no idea. If my PC can't undo scaling, that would definitely be something that happens with Discord, with Infinite so far. A few times, actually. Okay, so I can do something like this, but a little bit lower. Or tilted this way. That would work. There we go. So that it's kind of like the mud has deposited here. That doesn't really hide the edge. I don't know what I'm doing. That doesn't make any sense. Okay, well actually this would be a good shape to put there and then put stuff here along the edge. Oh. Lined loose leaf paper. I'm not sure where the lined loose leaf paper is. Oh, it might be in that top drawer right there. Sorry. Let's see. If I do, is it wetlands? I think it's, no, it's tidal. Tidal rocks are the ones that I'm using here. Show my Discord. Yeah. Okay. Let's go to the Discord. I realized that you had said that earlier, and I forgot to do that. Oh wow, that's cool looking. Yeah, that's really cool. Those are under the ocean, like, you know, plants, right? That you've used for that, right? Is that true? Is that the case? Are they sleeping because they've been puffed by whatever this is? Hello, Mrs. Forge. Aaron said, hello, Mrs. Forge. He can't see you, but he knows that you're here, because I was talking to you. Yeah. Yep. Let's see. This is actually possibly going to work here. Yeah, there we go. Let's see. And that would be... They just sleeping due to that mushroom. Yeah, they got knocked out by some kind of weird spore. They got stun spored by that Pokemon, or sleep spored by that Pokemon, one or the other, but they got spored in some way. Let's see. There we go. That looks pretty good. It looks kind of like muddy rock has been deposited here over time, and it gets saturated by the water, so I'm liking that. Now this area, I could actually put more snow. and like another glacier rock, and the fact that there's water here means that there's no need for a transition because it will get rinsed off, and it'll look like it's melting out of the snow. So, and it's flowing down river, so like the snow would be here. But here, I'll just place it and we'll see. We'll see if I'm right. Let's see, glacier. Because I was starting to talk, but I'm like, you know, I should just place it and see how it works. I don't think that we're going to need a transition in this one particular spot because of the nature of this. And actually I can sort of make that a little better looking with this. And the fact that there's a Forerunner structure right there makes it feel like, yeah, anything's possible in this area. Okay, this is getting a little iffy, but I can put rocks there to make that look a little better. Like these rocks, for example, are actually supposed to be, these are going to have to go back up in here because they're like the hide where the water source is actually coming from rocks, you know what I mean? Yeah, we're going to have to figure that out. Let's see, I think if I stretch this, hopefully it won't mess everything up and scaling will not undo. So I'll have to undo whatever I'm doing manually if I don't like it. Okay, that doesn't look bad at all, and actually the way that that connects into that now makes that look more correct, you know? But I also feel like at this point it needs to be brought lower. Because the way it looked over here was wrong. And stuff. Here's something I noticed is that, and it's kind of unfortunate, is that Snowman Snow does not come with a snow crunching sound effect. So, this snow, watch this. You'll notice that, okay, this sounds like rock almost, and this sounds like snow. And that's because the glacier rocks come with a snow sound effect. And, ooh, what the heck? This rock is... Good thing that's not going to stay there. But the Snowman Snow texture doesn't, like, immediately add that sound effect to, you know, what do you call it? To other things you set it to, so it's kind of unfortunate. So, there we have it. Let's see. Let's see now. Okay. So basically, if you go up this way, you're gonna hear like a rock sound. Oh no, that's a glacier. Okay, cool. That's a glacier rock. This one's, I think. Yeah. Okay, cool. Anyway, the point is, it's unfortunate we don't have a splash whenever you land in the water too. Oh jeez, what happened there? Did something get? Did my effects get adjusted? Because it kind of looks like they did. I definitely unprefabbed them, but looks like that didn't work because now I've got this going on. I used mouse and keyboard for this last time, so I might need to again, but maybe it'll just click back into place really well. If it was adjusted by exact increments, it would, and it did. So this looks weird. Don't know what's going on here either. Oh, this is that mud piece. Okay, yeah, I can shift that then. Because that's like an under mud. That's like just to... That's more about those two pieces coming together than anything, so, at this point. So I can actually scale this back down and put it like that. Okay. Yeah, I thought I saw something in chat pop up. Let's see. So, if I put some rocks over here... These are actually, you know what? These need to be shinier. What am I doing? You can't just do concrete. You gotta force on for the shininess and make them darker whenever you've got them underwater. And actually I should be doing this to both these at the same time. Okay. Metal, force on. Actually, what the heck happened? Okay, so I am going to start them over here. Okay. Let's see. Force on, and force on, and then I'm going to change their colors. I really like to put like a sort of a blue, and then this is from painting miniatures. You learn that you put a little bit of blue in your rock, and even though rock, you know, and then you put a little bit of a brown on one of them. And these, since they're underwater, I'm going to pick a really dark brown. Is the idea, and then shift it. That reddish brown will work, and then you pick like a black or a gray, or actually yellow works too. Yellow works great for that. Not that yellow though. Maybe a dark yellow, which is just brown. Brown is just dark yellow, so maybe that's what. Maybe that reddish one will stay red, and I'll see if I can find an actual dark brown to use. I mean, this will work. Or a dark green, that'll work because it's underwater. There's a nice, almost brownish green. And come back out and go back in so I get my color intensity option. And then you get them to be all pretty much just gray. Once you adjust them back down and they're just gray, they start looking a little more natural with having like different shades. But then after you've got your things all different colors, then you dry brush them, which that's where this comes in. And we go in here and say, we can say there's a mud section, and mud is shiny, so that's what we're going to go with. Because that'll look like it's wet. If I can find it, there's mud. It's up here in the actual, let's see. And then we put it all over it, and that's sort of the dry brush, you know, you paint it. Mud sea, mud dried, that's not what we want. Mud pocked, muddy grass. Yeah, let's go with, this one looks pretty good. I like that one. So now we've got muddy rocks with different hues underneath them, underneath the mud, so that you have a sort of a cooler looking, less generic looking pile of gray, you know? And you end up with a little bit more of an interesting situation there. And then this one, we can either hide that hole there or adjust the terrain underneath it to be a little wider. And I think we'll do that. We'll just adjust this to be wider. And then shift it to fill in that gap. Anyway, yeah. Oh, look at us creating natural environments, whether alive or dead, Lamal. Yeah. I can't wait to see what we can make once we have proper things like water. Like, that's gonna be what everyone's gonna do with real water. It's gonna be amazing. Season, 3 can't come soon enough. We're gonna put this like that, like embedded into the dirt. Like these rocks are sort of like flowed down river, embedded into this mud, and sort of just got stuck there. And then we're gonna go ahead and put, actually, this rubble here. Not that one. Where did I put it? Oh, that one. This rubble and this little sprout of splashing needs to be moved forward to its proper position anyway, and that was gonna go. Wait, what? I don't think this was the rubble I thought it was. This was just some rocks that were up high, I think, in the water. I thought they had some rubble at the transition point, but I guess not. Did everything get messed up? Oh, I guess I did just scale stuff, so that might have been why this is all messed up. But that's actually a decent point to put this flow, especially if I go, okay, rocks would have moved and deposited themselves on the slope. And they would be right up to the edge of the slope this way, and then stopped. Right? They would come down river, but they're kind of a little too tilted. Let's see, can't wait to get out of Season 2.5. I feel like this is a good Season 3. Did I say Season 3 a second ago when Season 3 comes out? Because I meant Season 4. But yeah, Season 4 is going to come with water effects and possibly, according to some leaks, flood AI, as well as other AI, which are more obvious. So this I actually put under the water to where it barely splashes out, because I thought that looked good. And then I will duplicate it and move this one over here to this little rubble pile, which is another little bump in the road. But I think what I did was I had it really far under the water to sort of You know, like it is splashes, but it looks really good whenever it's like coming out a little bit from under the water. At the moment, whenever we don't have proper stuff. So adjusting this thing's scale, the mud scale, it actually, for the rock that's underneath everything's scale, actually did more of an impact on it than I thought it would. Let's see. They need to step up with updating Forge with better updates. Unreal Infinite Fortnite giving some fierce competition. Yeah, I think they're gonna start having to release things on a faster schedule than they've been doing, because the only, like, one of the things that Unreal Engine Fortnite is going to struggle with, and this is one of the things I was pointing out online, is the fact that people are is because they gave people the freedom to import things. That's gonna hurt their ability to police what's being generated. And it's gonna be really cool for creators like Warcraft 3 was. But the difference is, Warcraft 3 got away with it, because Warcraft 3, and then StarCraft 2 as well, because those games, they were so transformative. You were taking Halo, a first-person shooter, they were taking its 3D models and or IP, and then putting it into an RTS, which wasn't an RTS yet whenever Warcraft 3 was doing the stuff with Halo. I don't think there's a lot of Halo maps in StarCraft 2, and that's because you can't really do that. You can't go out and just steal someone's IP like that. So what ends up happening is that you have it's like, yeah, this is a really cool feature, but they're going to have to ban everyone and their grandma who decides to import things from other games, or even create their own models based on those other games, because that IP is owned by that other person. You can't just go and do that. That's illegal. At least in the US it is, and they're trying to operate in the US, so that's going to be a major sticky point for them. So that's gonna be a problem for the creators over there, and they're gonna have trouble. We should add roots to the river bed, and maybe a little foliage. Ooh, yeah. Like some plants. I do need foliage for sure. Like, I've even got it over here on these little puddles, but not over here yet. What's up? Yeah, they're sleeping on those benches, yeah. My son loves your build, Aaron. He's pointing at, like, those are bad guys. He was letting me know about how you know, Halo is, and how those are bad guys, in case I didn't know.
I do nothing.
Let's see, how can you tell what he's saying? I heard him say bad guys, and I saw what he was pointing at, so I can kind of guess the rest. You really get used to the language your children speak whenever they're like, you know, this one's getting really, making something that covers this mud is really difficult, and I think I may just have to move the mud, like move the ground. But that means I have to readjust that and everything, and I don't know how I'm going to be able to do that. But anyway, I didn't know your kid looked at my pic of the brute sleeping on the bench. Yeah, he just walked in and saw it and started pointing at it. But yeah, I should add roots though. Yeah, roots and other plants. Yeah, but anyway, he was he just immediately saw it and started going. He's like, as soon as he saw it, he immediately started pointing out to it and saying what, you know. He's like, oh, he's like, those are bad guys. I think he said something about sleeping too. I don't think he thinks they're good. Although they are, so. This isn't bad, actually, having like this one area where like there isn't a muddy transition right there. You know what I mean? It's not too bad because there are rocks right there. And then having the muddy transition down here gives you the emphasis. And that also kind of puts like this Arctic blue there, like there's some ice formed there. So I kind of like this, and then I'm going to probably combine it with another piece of ice covering up the rest. Like maybe this one, because it looks like a decent size to have it like ending on this side right above the water. Yeah, that's a good one. I like that a lot. And it kind of... What do you guys think about that one? I think that's a pretty decent setup. And the ice is even still right here, so this water will be very cold. It's coming straight out of a refrigerator. Straight out of a Forerunner refrigerator. Let's see. Let's move this a little different. Let's see if I can scale it that way and move it back. Let's see how that looks, because I want to make it sort of touch right there. I might just have to move that one in, actually. Yeah. Let's scale that back in, because I can't undo it, apparently. That looks pretty good. And I'm going to move this one over to connect to there. Or scale it. There we go. Let's see. Sorry, there we go, there we go, there we go. That looks much cleaner there, I think. Yeah, that looks good. I like how it's touching the very top of the water right there. Like it's having trouble not melting. Bedtime in a bit. Oh, okay. I do want to put icicles right here. Play Master Chief? What do you mean play Master Chief? Play Master Chief. You want to go play Master Chief? Oh man, okay. We'll get you some Master Chief to play. It turns out, not going yet. Good night, Aaron. Good night, going yet. So it turns out that he has two different terms for Halo. He says, I want to play Halo when he wants to play Master Chief. I mean, Halo Infinite. He says, I want to play Master Chief whenever he wants to play. Yeah, like that, buddy. Whenever he wants to play, Master Chief Collection. So he actually has like two different things. And it's pretty cool. This is just barely not touching the water, as it would definitely melt as soon as it touched the water in real life. And then we're going to grab this drip, and we're going to duplicate it and move it over here, and put it right in there. And then we got to fix all these rocks. That looks cool. Drip, drip, drop. Maybe move it a little further back so it drips more under there, so that it doesn't come all the way out, because it's big enough around. I saw one floating, like free float drip right there, and that didn't make any sense. Now I just need to make sure it doesn't drip through the rock, like from above. And it doesn't appear to, so I like that. Okay. And then I need to put something back here, like some mud, and then these rocks need to be adjusted to sort of hide where the water is coming from. And also I think I need to delete these rocks because they're still dry and gray, and these are the muddy ones, and I need to turn them around. That light, by the way, is not an actual light. It was there to let's see, maybe next hour, maybe next hour or two. Oh, okay, my ears. Well, welcome to parenthood. Oh yeah, sorry about that. It didn't even phase me. I didn't even notice it was happening, because that's just parenthood. Yeah. He can be pretty extreme sometimes. That light was just there to make the slight glow from this energy field not look too bright, but because it's so far back and I adjusted the lighting of the energy field now, it actually isn't a problem, and I could probably just delete it. And any light down here that does come off the energy fields will look like light shining through the ice from the sun. So I think I'm going to delete the light, because it doesn't really lend a lot to the scene, you know what I mean? I'll pass on that. Oh, on Parenthood? Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, a lot of people don't want to be parents these days, so understandable. It's a difficult process. What? Did I fail to... Oh, this is the actual riverbed now. I've got to move that back. There we go. Oh, that adjusted. Let's unmove that back and grab my other rocks and move them with it, because these rocks are set up to be on these, tilts, on these slopes. So if I don't move them back with it, I'm going to end up having to redo them. There we go. That should be good. Actually, I'll move it all the way back into the door frame. Now the waterfall is flowing nicely over the edge. And also we've got this going on. Should I make the waterfall thick? You know what? What will make the waterfall feel more thick and like more realistic is if I actually do two of them down here. If this thing... And you wanted me to do two of them anyway, Aaron, because it makes it look more realistic, and that makes more sense. That makes a lot of sense. That might be the perfect thickness for that. I need to bring it down so it kind of touches there instead of up top. But now whenever you try to walk through the waterfall, it's going to sort of have like a thickness to it. I need to make more of these puffs. In fact, they might need to move in a bit. Let's see. I need another of these splashes. I need to put them down and inside the water here, so that it ends up having a good... Actually, I can bring it up a bit because the ground is going to be there eventually, so I can go right around there. And that'll give it to where whenever you're moving through, you're going to see like splashes. I think I don't want it to be hollow whenever you look up though, so I need to put one more splash a little higher up. Good luck doing 2 with effects budget. Well, the other side's going to be lava, remember? So we're going to have also, you can horribly, horribly exceed the effects budget, so I don't think it'll be too big of a deal. But yeah. There we go. That looks pretty good. The other side's gonna be lava, and I'm gonna use those techniques we were doing before. So the effects over there will be fire and like puffs like that. But yeah, and that's gonna be all the way over there. So because of the plasma and stuff like that, I'm so stuck on coming up with an idea for a unique Forge map. There's not much you can do with just Forest, Forerunner, and UNSC. I mean, you can really tweak stuff, but like Paimon's map that Aaron is using is like ridiculous as far as like what he was capable of. Like he built like stone structures and stuff like that. There's some pretty cool stuff. So if you want to go, you just got to get like really weird, like ridiculously creative. You know what I mean? Like and sort of like master something. The arc might work finally, because actually it's got a weird protrusion. It's the squareness of it that keeps on getting in my way, and this is actually a place where I do need it to be a little bit square and weirdly mounted, so this might finally work here. Yeah, kind of works. I need something back there like a glacier. Liam, please stop. Or some rocks or something like that. But yeah. But yeah, the limitations are... I mean, Halo's always had limitations on what you can make, but it's practically limitless by comparison to before, you know? But yeah, Lamau, okay, there's 2 of them now. Lamau, yes, there's actually 4 of them. So, eventually you might see more than just 2 of them here. This is my daughter, this is my son. And I've got 2 other daughters, so let's see if I can get in there without it freaking out. Actually, that was a weird little clamor. What was that? Oh, that's just clambering onto this rock. That rock is right in the way, apparently. I think I need to sink them into the ground a little bit. There we go. So you can actually duck down and come into here and sort of hide if you feel the need to do so. It's just going to be a little bit rough with all these rocks. I might put a team blocker in here to smooth out the walk. Let's see. You know what I mean? Like just a little tiny team blocker in here would smooth out the way that the Spartan walks through it, you know? That's a little bit better. And then I need something back there. So, like I said, a glacier. Wife must be satisfied if you've got 4. Yeah, definitely. Well, you know, we both came from families of 5, so there is that thought of, well, maybe we'll go for 5. What did you use for the river water effect? Energy shield, energy barrier. This is a Forerunner energy barrier, 18 by 63. And what you do is you change its color. Because if you do, it's normally like a blue. And whenever it's blue, first of all, it glows weird colors and you end up with all this weird stuff. But if you switch this to a gray, I forget which one I had it on, like maybe this one, it stops glowing because the light is black, so it stops affecting anything. In fact, it kind of creates a shadow. Not even really, no. It just has black light, so it doesn't do anything. And then, yeah, wife watching the stream and nodding in the other room going, yep. Exactly. She's always like, you know, she doesn't like me to talk about the kids on stream, actually. Because Yeah. And that's why I try to keep from doing that. Mainly because there could be creepers on here too that are just like lurking and not, you know what I mean? Like there's no telling. So I'm gonna shift this a little bit back so that it kind of has. I'm gonna bring it down. No, it's gotta be. It can't be going through too many rocks. I guess it's gotta go out to not look bad on the end here. So it's gotta be lined up the same. But the main reason I was trying to shift it is because I wanted it to have the rapids to be a different location, you know? So maybe I could shift it to the side a bit. Yeah, this side was not going too much. It's not clipping through too much, you know? I might need to put a rock there and another, like, you know, rock over here or something, but we'll see. And that looks a little bit better. A little bit more like water. And then you can just splash, you know, come in here. I think I need to put some splashing in here or something because... Or put the energy barriers just a little closer together. Because the way that they're gapped in the middle whenever you crouch is... There we go. I don't want you to see that there's a difference, you know what I mean? So maybe that's the best. Let's see. Yeah, now you go under it. You can kind of see there's a difference there, so I just need to block off that edge. And that would be where the glacier comes in. Blows veiny horse love length. What? Okay, I need to read what was happening before that to understand what's going on. Let's see. Oh yeah, look how much better it is with stacked barriers. Yeah, I agree. Thoughts on the bandit rifle? I think it's cool but unnecessary. It blows veiny horse love lengths. See, I did not understand what that meant until I reread that other stuff. But yeah, no, it's I actually kind of like the bandit rifle, but I feel like it's in the sandbox, it's like Halo. I always complained about Halo 4 and Halo 5's way overabundance of like repeated sandbox items. You know what I mean? That really bothered me. I was like, why are you doing this? Just make something new and cool. And like stop cutting things that are cool, new and cool. So I would rather a sticky detonator, but you know, it's whatever they can pull off, I guess. You know, this has got these nice bumps in it, so I think I'm gonna use it. And I think that I'm just gonna have this come back like this and sort of imply that there's more cave underneath that you can't crawl through. And then put rocks down there. I hear you, buddy. You want to play Master Chief? You want to play Master Chief? There we go. That's a good shape. And then we're gonna grab these rocks and do one more of them. Find out where they are. I quote that line from you know in Halo 2. You know in Halo 2 whenever Miranda Keyes, whenever they come out of the slipspace portal, Miranda Keyes says, "Do it and find out where we are." Like cuz she's trying to give them orders to figure out what just happened whenever they went through the slipspace portal that the Covenant made. I quote that line all the fucking time just for like just to say do it. Yeah, buddy. Don't worry, buddy. I'm gonna come get you set you up Master Chief in just a second because I need to finish this forge, this riverbed, and then I probably will be getting off anyway because it's now getting close to 2 o'clock in the afternoon where I am, and we gotta go on and do stuff. This actually fits pretty well, but I don't think anyone's going to want this little crevice to exist. It's gonna be a weird little spot you fall into sometimes by accident. That's not good level design, I think. I think I need to fill that in. Like, the way it fits is cool, but the way it looks is not cool. Maybe if I made it into a little pool of water, like this one, that might be cool. But, and the glass will keep you from falling in too deep. Because I can't do running water like this with the energy barrier this time. But anyway, it's just so inconsistent. Excuse me. It's basically the Halo it's basically the Magnum, but they made it into a rifle. And that's my take on it. The fact that they, they did some other stuff with it, obviously. It's kind of like the pistol from Halo 5, people are saying. I didn't really play Halo 5, as you guys know, as I've said a million times on stream. But it's kind of like the, people are saying like the Magnum from Halo 5. It's a lot like the, design, like effectiveness-wise, it's kind of like use case, it's kind of like the pistol from Halo 1, but not as much zoom. It's like a balanced version of the pistol from Halo 1. But, yeah. Okay, so now we've got a river. But that's not necessarily, like, all that great. You know what I mean? Like, it's like redundant. It's like I was saying, Halo 4 had... I kind of like it, but also Halo 4 introduced this thing where they were like, yeah, let's way overdo the, One of your what? Okay, can you get it out?
I can't find it.
Okay, I'll go look. Why is there a Cane's bag?
There's a cane bag on the side of the chair.
Oh, okay. We must have forgotten to throw that away. Raisin canes, I don't know if you guys get that. That's delicious. Let's see. You might want to make that river bed a lighter shade instead of black. Just not by much. Okay. I didn't want it to glow too much in in this area, so I was kind of being... So I think that's what I chose, but then I can... yeah, it is. It's as black as it gets, so that it wouldn't glow. But having a bit of glow, like I was saying, would be kind of cool, because it would be like the light shining in there. I was just trying to avoid, you know, like that, but... like, this is... Like, I'll just blow it out first just to show everybody how it looks. Like, this is what it kind of does whenever you go to white. It glows really heavily. Never mind, it's fine now. Oh, you removed the block. Oh. Which block? Now I'm confused. Anyway, so this is, yeah, so you've got a little crouch area in here now that you can sort of hide in if you're like, oh shoot, if you're like firefighting with someone up there and you can't really get up fast enough or you don't feel like doing all that, you could just be like, you could just kind of like duck in here. You could also like power slide into that and sort of disappear and then come out and attack people whenever they come near. Anyway, you had like a black block under your water. Oh. It might have also just been a texture, like, thing where, like, something went black for a second. I'm not sure. But yeah, now I understand what you mean now. Okay, how does this thing scale? Can I scale in a direction that makes sense, or am I going to have to... Like, I wanted to make this go farther back. I might have to just build the wall inside there so I can put this door where I want it to, because right now it's clipping into that if I go any farther. And I don't like how the water is falling over that, but then not reacting to it. I guess I could put some splashing there, specifically, coming down, like a little splash specifically coming out of that hides the fact that if you look up at it, it looks like there's nothing that the water's not really interacting with it. And maybe that would be cool. But I'll do that if I can't figure out a way to, if I don't like, you know, any other techniques of moving this door. But yeah. Anyway, yeah, maybe, but it's okay now, though. Yeah. Show your Discord. Okay, before I get off, I will show the Discord real quick. This is madness. Oh, you found it. Where is that? Ah, I looked so... It's got to be in the decals, right? That this is madness? Or is it painted on one of the walls as a thing? That is a gun. Yeah. Yeah, you like that one?
That one. I'm modding.
Yeah. Does it shoot electricity?
Dang.
Yeah.
The tiny gun.
Mm-hmm.
Tiny gun.
Yeah, maybe. Is it? It's the arcade machine. Oh. It's the arcade machine? Go to the arcade machine in props, and this madness is in the back of it. That's how people do it. Okay. Man, you have no idea. People... Where is that one? City props? I think that's in city props, right? I guess it probably would be at the top in the A section if it was in city props. But let me know if it isn't here. Tool cart, traffic pylon, ventilation. Yeah, no, probably not in there. Okay, where is it? Where is that? Bazaar, not there. No, go to props. It's not in city props. Okay. So it's in the props section. Wait, where is that? Let's see. Pipes, panels, railings. It's not in accents, is it? It's in something else, isn't it? Not in here. That would be weird. This is like the most basic section. Props section there. There we go. Now I understand. Toys, Arbiter, Atriox. Is it in here? Halo Arcade Party Multiplayer. Okay. So people were asking on Twitter where this was and how to find it. And now... Okay. Now we know. The back end of this isn't bad for like an UNSC, like, you know, wall panel anyway. Risk of electric shock. More than one disconnect switch. Blah, 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 blah. I like this. This is cool. Okay, I'm so glad you found that, because I was actually wanting to eventually use that. And the fact that it's not... The fact that I didn't know where it was really frustrating. This would be a great panel. I like those fuses, because this looks like it's more hobbled together. Like if this was just a wall, like scaled up and turned into a wall, and that's just was just clipped into the ceiling somewhere, you could just like... Yeah, it looks like something more hobbled together. Like someone, like, it doesn't look like UNSC put those wires together, you know what I mean? It looks like something like a repair crew did. Let's see. If you turn it to dynamic, it plays audio. Let's undo that. I want to hear that. You probably have to actually start the match for it to start doing that. But let's see, because usually the dynamic things like that do require that. Wait, is that the sound? Is that it? Did it just take a second to kick in? Or is that my music? Hard to tell. Let's see. Because it's usually the da-da-da-da, right? Well, maybe it's only in the match, because it's not wanting to do it right now. Or maybe I have to quit the map and then come back in or something for it to start doing it. Or is that what that music is? Oh, it was that music? Okay, never mind. It might be the other one. It's... Let's see, it might be the other one because you have multiplayer out right now. It was that music. It's that music that's really faint. It wasn't part of what the music that's playing in the here. I'll just pause the YouTube music. The ODST music. There we go. It's that part. It's just doing a different part. It's got multiple themes it plays, I think, and it's just doing a different one right now. They're in a chorus now. They're all slightly off from one another. Anyway, that's really cool. And I'm so glad that we got the This Is Madness thing. I don't know why that's not its own decal. Like, that should just be a decal. We can put it anywhere. You know what I mean? Fun facts learned today. Yep, I'm testing the sounds too. Oh man, that's so cool. And then, yeah, so this got done today at least. This looks really great, I think. At least so far. Oh boy, did you just hit your head on the table? You okay, buddy? Oh, you're trying to make me pity you for your head? So that you can convince me to come set you with Master Chief right this second? I could theoretically copy this over here and make another one that transitions into that one and everything. It has the mud stuff there, so I might do that. But so far, this looks pretty good. And I really like it. And I think that now from above, it's got sort of a more unique shape rather than just a blob sitting there. And I think that looks good because whenever you fly over this with a wasp, you're going to want to be able to see something cool. And now it looks cooler, I think. And yeah, we're good. We're good for that. So I think I'm going to do this probably off stream, possibly today or, you know, whatever. But what I'm going to do is, instead of, like the part that's under the waterfall, and what I'm going to do next is I'm going to either start working on a lake down here, like a small lake, that will just be like right next to this with some acacia trees. And then this one's going to be the one that's actually flooded and turning into almost like a swamp, because the water's going to be pouring down this direction as well, and it's going to come down to this, and it's going to be like a little swamp there, a little bog, and that's going to be kind of cool. as if this shade, you know, the shade that this thing casts on it throughout the day and that building casts on it throughout the day really helps. And I might make some more mountains to really block off the some more like taller mountains to block off the sun and create some shade for this, to where like this thing creates shade for itself, the mountains create shade for it, and it ends up becoming this little area where the water doesn't evaporate as much, and the Forerunner structure has started to create like a full-blown swamp in this area. Off-stream, unacceptable, right? And then over there, I'll start doing lava. So whatever it is next time, either next stream will be lake, or starting to make that river, and that, swamp area, or it's gonna be, we're gonna start on the lava, which would just be a totally different, unique look entirely. Why do some objects' shadows fail like this, and some don't? Is it purely because I haven't baked lighting yet? Because that would be very understandable if that's the case. And also, why is my texture screwing up over here? What's going on with this? What even is this? Mud? Is that a mud texture? Or tree bark? That looks like tree bark. Anyway. So that's that for now. We're going to have all these microbiomes scattered across the map. They're going to be really pretty and cool and make it like, oh yeah, I want to go see that. That's the idea, is that whenever you're at this base and you're looking out over there, you're like, okay, we need to get that fusion coil. It's got a nav marker over there, and it looks like a cool place to visit. Let's get over there. You're going to get in your Warthog right here, and you're going to start driving. And I need to make, like you were saying, Aaron, I think yesterday, that you can use these transition pieces to make really good, like dirt roads where where vehicles have driven. So I could set that up right there and sort of try to make that. But yeah, I'm glad Infinite Forges used this as Madness decal in his Doom map. Yeah, that was a good one. That's a good idea. I also kind of built out this area to look a little nicer. Obviously not right here. This is completely messed up. In fact, it might be messed up because this is probably got screwed up. This was probably here. And it probably got really messed up from some kind of issue with exiting the map and coming back in or something. But anyway, yeah, I've been turning that, like, this is all that terrain. Like, this terrain is, seriously, it's the GOAT. You know what I mean? Like, you just go, yeah, I want this to be tall and sort of transition out, and I don't want to use a lot of resources to do it. You know, I don't want to have to make hills so that are really detailed. So just stretch it out, and you end up with, you know, some really nice like slopes there. This is a terrible side to explain this with. Let's hold on. Let's do it this way. Okay, let's rotate. Where's my rotation point? There it is. Rotate it this way, and we can find other sides that are looking good. Man, I scaled this up a lot. I think I need to just tilt it and then raise it, and then that would have been better, and then I didn't have to make it so tall. But like, you can do these like really nice slopes and hills with this thing if you turn it on its side and go into it that way. I kind of like that more. That looks better. But yeah, and you can make like cool like cliff ledges like that. I would say don't use TI on here. TI looks really ugly on Arid. I don't think so. I think it looks pretty good. But you just have to cover it up a little bit, like this stuff. But also you're thinking in terms of like that, like tiger stripes, you know, weird stone and stuff like that. But whenever you're down here, it looks like this. So it kind of feels a little more, you know, a little more alive. But also, like, once I start putting on some other stuff here, I can make it look really good. Like doodads, you know what I mean? Detail work. Like, the detail work around that is going to completely change how this area looks. But yeah. Well, you can still color match it to TI. Yeah, I could color match some other hills and put them on there and sort of cover some of these things. But yeah. Anyway, the point is that whenever I use TI out here, then like this is all TI, and it looks good once you get the once I added the rocks onto it. It looks really good. I think it looks good. I mean, you're not going to be out here looking at it. You're going to be looking at it from this angle, which is where it really looks good. I built it to look good over here, not really look good from the other side. So it kind of looks really like interesting terrain. And I think what I'm going to do is make it to where, as far as like boundaries go, is I'm going to let you walk all the way up here, and then I'm going to kick in like this soft kill zone right here. So as you come up here, it's going to get more and more intense, and more intense, And if you come up to here, you're probably gonna, your soft kill zone's gonna kill you probably pretty soon anyway because of the timer. But if you come out past here to like here, I'm gonna put a hard kill zone. It's just gonna snap you. You know what I mean? You're just gonna get snapped. So, or I could just time it to where if you try to walk out there, you'll reach there and die, which would work just fine too. That way I don't have to do more than one kill zone. But the point is, rather than putting, like, specifically desert terrains in Halo have a history of allowing you to just keep walking. And then eventually you get to a point where you're gonna die because, like, giant beams shoot you down, or you know, little what do you call it, grenades like shoot up out of the ground and explode, or whatever the heck. You know, they've got the snow biome ones that do that. There's always those Halo terrains that allow you to just keep going. It's like, yeah, just keep walking. Totally, you won't get blown up or anything. And then you do, and then you die, and then it's great. So I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to use soft kill zones to make it to where it's like, you know, to make it feel more natural. You know what I mean? Like a boxed canyon on its own, like a ring like this, is kind of weird. But because there's so many Forerunners and Forerunner objects, and there's going to be some Forerunner hexes as well, that's actually one of the ways that you can very quickly make sections like this. So you can go accents, Forerunner, and just go to Forerunner hexes and get like a really big chunky boy. It's a huge, oh, where was it? That was it, I think. Or was that one just really close to the camera? Here it is. It's the biggest one. Yeah, you could just be like this if you really wanted to. But like, you can break up this terrain a little bit like this, you know what I mean? And put some interesting stuff there that makes it to where the Warthog can't go up that way, but it's kind of like, you know, a good platform to come down from. And then it's also a good place to like position things like UNSC crates or something like that, like something that they would just like use this platform. They're like, yeah, it's a clean platform, use it. You know what I mean? So like, you know, once that base is there, it's not going to look so plain over here. Once that base is there, it won't be so plain over here and empty. And then these other areas in the middle, you can break up that TI terrain issue by covering up some of the stone with something else, and then make it look a little bit interesting. And I kind of like how that pile comes onto that hex. So I'm going to leave that there for now and decide whether or not I actually want it there later. But yeah, basically you can just kind of, you can break up that over saturation of that stuff with other things and make some interesting environments. Like fragmentation. Fragmentation has those like random columns that have a hex pillar in them, and then a weapon platform up there, a weapon spot up there, and it's just a useful place you can man cannon yourself onto. You could just do that and break up this stuff with that kind of stuff. But yeah, since you're doing brown rocks for desert and not gray, it doesn't match. I know it doesn't match, but if you put enough gray and brown together, it works out fine because the rocks change color. I just wanted this TI on these rocks, and I hope that they eventually add TI rocks, but here's the real problem. Non-TI would also let you blend easier to other terrains you need, since TI can't be edited. Here's the real problem that I have with desert in general, and this is the reason you were talking about how this is the worst biome, is that if you go to like, if you're on Alpine and you put the Alpine rocks, it matches the gray. If you're on, you know, under the water and you do tidal, it matches really nicely with the rains. In the wetlands, it matches with the swamp terrain. But if you go to desert, this boulder doesn't match the gray either. This is worse, in my opinion. That's a more neutral kind of brown, where maybe it's just like, it's actually gray, but it's like caked with sand to shift its color. But like this one is like, it's like it's sandstone, you know what I mean? Like this is straight up sandstone, and not this gray. So like, this match is worse. But maybe having 3 different types of rock, you know, not literally touching like this, but having like 3 different kinds of rocks on this map, and, you know, and doing it not literally like this, but something to this effect, would actually make it feel like, yeah, there are some hot solid stone there, which you'd use the TI environment for to make those. And then there's also some, you know, TI rocks that are sort of brownish, and then some that are sandstone, and you just wouldn't mix them like this in particular, and it would start to look good. Like this I think is fine, the way that they're like next to each other, because it feels like that's more sturdy, but this one has eroded, and it's created this sort of shift in terrain here over time, and sort of slid downhill or whatever. And so I feel like it's kind of okay the way it is, but I need to add more to it. It's kind of it's like I keep on saying, that's sort of like a, this feels very primer, not paint. You know what I mean? Like, this is painted now for the most part. But whenever it started off, it was like, I don't know if that's going to work out for you, you know what I mean, with this kind of, the transitions the way they looked originally. And then now it actually does look pretty good, because if the steam kind of turns it from primer to paint, and then the way that there's different shades and stuff like that, and the way this other stuff like piles in, it kind of looks good. But anyway, let's see. That's why it's better to use non-TI, as you can color match sand to those rocks. I agree. Let's see. I'm going to try to finish Mortality so that your kids can play on it, since one of them liked some of my screenshots. Sounds good. Yeah, they play on a lot of stuff. They really like that Walmart map. They love the Walmart map. But yeah. So there's like kind of two ways up with the Warthog, by the way, this way. There's like a steep slope here where you can just go straight shot. And then if you come this way, you can kind of barrel over and come up this hill here. Or if you want to, you can come up straight up that hill from this structure. So there's sort of some multiple different paths, by the way. But I might make it a little bit smoother later or something, because there was a better path here, but these, I felt like this dune needed to be here for some of the other stuff, like transitions and stuff. So I ended up putting that there, and it kind of ate up the path that was good there. Anyway, also the gray is too shiny for whatever reason. It is really shiny, actually. It almost looks like metal. It's very strange. It should be dusty. You're right. I mean, there's sand here. It should be very dusty. Maybe because they were like, yeah, maybe they went and got sandblasted rock. You know what I mean? Like, the idea was that, like, maybe they literally went and got some stone that had been sandblasted for their screen to take a picture to make the you know, the effect. And whenever they did, it kind of had this kind of, you know, shininess to it, because it had been blasted with sand and smoothed and buffed, kind of. But yeah, if you know, I mean, if you think I really, if you really hate it, I mean, I kind of like it, but if you really hate it, then I might actually start considering shifting it. But yeah, one question is, the biome in the middle, should it be sand, or should I put some living things around this central structure as well? That's a pretty decent question to me. But yeah, anyway, I think I've got to get going, because I said that like 20 minutes ago, I think. So yeah, I will catch you guys next time, I guess, because yeah. Also, yeah, it's great. It's too shiny. I thought I missed something for a second there. But yeah, so I'll catch you guys later. Yeah.